Disclaimer, we'd like to note before the start of this interview that the opinions about to be expressed by the guest on tonight's Gettin Salty Experience podcast are that of the guest and do not directly or necessarily reflect the views of the host of the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Put the fucking fire out!
You're listening to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Hello, Darren Van Eck. I shouted him out, Roof. He said good morning, so I'm like, where the fuck is this guy from? Darren Van Eck. It's good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Gettin Salty Experience podcast, the one that brings the Firehouse kitchen table to you, even Roofy with a flashlight because he has no power. But that's the kind of guy he is, bro. He's dedicated. He's a dedicated guy. He's got his phone and the flashlight, and the light is just shining on those drapes. It makes them look even more beautiful, I got to say.
And a weak heart.
No, every morning I call him, he picks up the phone. I'm like, I'm just glad you picked up today. I didn't want today to be the best.
Stay with your light, little buddy.
Stay with your light, little buddy.
Welcome back to the greatest podcast
ever.
First responder podcast ever. Featuring Gons with the good hair, Roofy with no power. Right.
Coming to you live from the dungeon.
Coming to you live. You got no heat either?
I got nothing. I just pulled out the generator too. I told my wife, what do you think? Usually I don't wait. I don't start pulling out the thing until then I'm like, she's like, you're not pulling out the generator.
Her lips are blue and she's shivering. Then you pull it out. Well,
she's like, well, the fire's going. The fire's going, but
the fire's going up there.
Man, that would be.
How long's the power been out?
About an hour and a half.
Ooh.
But then she called her cousin up the road, and cousin said that there's a transformer out, and the guy said that it's probably going to be a while. So then I started pulling out the generator. I started it up. It was running great. It conked out. I checked the gas. It looked a little shitty. I changed the gas. Now I can't get it started again. So
oh, my goodness. That's not like you, bro.
I know. I'm not happy.
You're slacking.
Yeah, I mean, usually you're on top of shit like that. And
that's what my wife just said to me.
Oh, I don't want to repeat what your wife
said. It must be the heart.
You got to say it. Don't stress me now. I got a bad heart. Don't give me any shit.
Bad ticker.
Take it easy. Take it easy. I could go at
Oh God, that's scary. That's scary.
Wow.
Wow, see right up his nose, man.
His nostrils, man.
If you're bat in the cave there.
I just trimmed him out.
Oh, you got a hard charger from the left coast today, bro. This he looks like a tough guy, doesn't he, bro? Like a hard charging.
He kills too. It's salty.
Nice.
Well, and he kills stuff, which Louis likes.
Both of you guys I'm not human beings from all angles. This guy hunting. This guy working out.
Where did we get this guy from? Syracuse?
Tony Saragosa gave him. Yeah. Matter of fact, he said this would be the only guy he's going to recommend to me.
Really?
This guy's the guy, and by the pictures he showed me,
he's got some crazy fights that he went to. Yeah,
he was only in the rescue for 22 years. That's all.
Yeah, just a few, just a couple.
I want to hear the story. He supposedly got trapped, right?
Oh, that's early on. Yeah, he had a couple pictures. The hair in the back of my neck was standing up. I was like, "Ooh, look at it! It's scary."
The video too. The video.
And he sounds a little bit like Hulk Hogan. If you close your eyes when he talks, he says, "Hey, brother, let me tell you something, brother."
These 56 pythons, brother.
And I hoisted that giant over my head, brother. Oh, give me that again. I got all excited.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Good for you, John. You're on top of your game today. Excellent. Thank you.
All right. Well, you were frozen for a second there. Let's get
into the commercials so we can get. I'm not allowed to call him Chief. I got to call him Tony. And Tony no baloney.
No baloney. That's it. All right, here we go. Listen to our boy Vince.
Gonzo's called Tony. Give me the baloney. That's what his name is.
I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Right.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
All right, here we go. We got a hump.
ArmorTough Firehouse flooring was recently installed in Station Number 7, the newest of the DeKalb County fire stations in Decatur, Georgia. Meeting Deputy Chief Smith of Support Services, Vince explained that armor-tough interlocking flooring is the only floor that is tough enough to withstand the abuse of fire apparatus, along with fire personnel at a very busy station. Chief Smith explained, "The flooring in all of our stations over the years gave us multiple problems. We need a floor that can last as long as the walls and the roof. That's why we chose ArmorTough. The installation team came from New Jersey, and in 3 days, they had completed their work without any disruption to our daily operations. We were very impressed with not only the product, but with the workmanship as well. I highly recommend ArmorTough for your station's floor." Call Vince today for a no-obligation quote at 908-917-7697.
Call Vince for a floor, but don't ask him to take you out for dinner because he's got alligator arms. Right, Roof? He's got the little arms.
Stubbities.
We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him in Indy though.
He paid last time. Didn't he pay last time?
Yeah, but I wasn't there. He paid for you and his friend that he got into an argument with at the table.
That's right.
He's a little tight.
That's the only one we got, Guns, tonight. That's it.
That's it. Because you have your normal 2 on Thursday, brother. At least that's what you told me.
All right. So, Roof, with your flashlight, do your thing. Bring him in here. The Hulk Hogan of the West Coast.
You ready, Gods?
Fuck yeah, bro.
I hope I pronounced his last name right. Coming to the stage, Battalion Chief Tony Smerdel.
There you go.
You got
Let me tell you something, Tony.
You're killing me. Wait.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Can you do that for me? Let me see how it goes.
Let me tell you something, brother.
See? You can do it. He's got the pipe to the 24-inch pythons. All right, let's get patriotic before we get too far and get silly with ourselves.
Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Best country in the world. Yep. Even though Louis doesn't have power, still the best country in the world. All right, let's go back. We got to go back pretty far. This guy got on back in the 70s before most of you young whippersnappers were even born. I can tell you that. Not Gonzo, of course. He's an old man. But I would ask you how you got interested in the fire show, but the business. But you told us already that your dad was a hard charger, right? He got on in 1964. So let's go back. Let's turn back the clock to the early days of Tony Smerdel. Where'd you grow up? We know your dad got you involved, but give us your first take on.
Yeah, I grew up in San Francisco, and it was really exciting growing up in the 60s and 70s in the city. My mom would bring us down to the Firehouse to visit Dad down there. She'd bring all the neighborhood kids down there, and he'd cook lunch for us, hot dogs and beanies and weenies and ice cream. And all the kids in the neighborhood looked up to my dad. My dad was Big Terry. My little brother was Little Terry. But it's pretty interesting growing up and getting the Firehouse life. So I got a big taste of it from early on. And I just knew that's where I wanted to be, man, having fun and fighting fires, man.
You knew from Jump Street then.
I did. And it was very
lucky. The Firehouse, right? Everything about it.
And it was very lucky to get in the department back in the 70s and 80s because there would be like 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 people testing to get in for a couple hundred jobs. So
wow. Really how big is that department?
There's about 2,000 people. There's about 300 on duty every day right now. I've been out for 12 years, so things have changed a little bit with the medics coming in and everything. But yeah.
They still use wooden ladders there?
Still use wooden ladders.
That's why I wore this shirt tonight for you.
Oh, let's see that.
Iron Men and wooden ladders, baby.
Oh, that's
you right there, fella.
Yeah, you got the 50-foot, 365-foot, 50-foot ladder and the 35. Oh, they're all woods, Engine's got the aluminums on them, but
and just pussies.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it was really cool, growing up as kids. And then we used to go to summer picnics at the Firehouse. And I'll talk a little bit about the guys that I worked with younger, but we've turned out that we were at the same picnics together because our dads all worked in the fire department. I told you, when I first got to Station 7, there was 6 of us that were unassigned kids there, and 5 out of those 6 were firemen's kids.
Wow.
And sitting down around talking bullshit one night. Remember that? You were there? Yeah, I was there. Were you there? It's like, and it's a small degree of separation in San Francisco, man. You know, you tell I'm from San Francisco. Like, oh, I'm from San Francisco. Where? Well, actually, I'm from the East Bay. Or, no, I'm from, no. If you're from the city, it's a small degree of separation. The first question anybody asks, what high school did you go to? You come to high school, you got the 3 Catholic schools and the public schools. So you say that, what high school, what year? And then it's off to the races. You know, that guy, you know, his sister, I married her sister, and blah, 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 and on and on and on. Yeah. So it's pretty.
Guns, pull up a few pictures of his dad. His dad looked tough, man.
Well, let's do this.
Hey, Chief, did your father push you towards that, or that you were already there?
No. My dad had 13 years in when he died. He died in 1977. That was 2 years before I came in. But he was a tough guy. Me and my brother, we were power lifters. We power lifted for years. One afternoon, hey, Dad, why don't you come down to the gym and work out with us? He's got a cocktail in one hand and a Marlboro in the other. He goes, hey, F you and F you little punks. I'll drag you down a smoky hallway and you'll puke your guts out and die rotten. And we look at each other, shut up, old man. Let's go to the gym. Had no idea what he was talking about till I got in and worked with the men that my dad worked with. And then I realized what he's saying about puking your guts out in a hallway, because I got to work with a lot of guys that my dad worked with. So it was pretty cool.
That was cool. So you take the test. What year did you take the test?
I took the test probably in 1977, 76.
Ah, so he knew you took the test. He knew that was the direction you were going in.
I did. Well, you know what? I ran the family business. When my dad died in 77, we took over the family business. But I always wanted to be a fireman. I took the test, but that didn't come to fruition until 79 when I got hired.
What was the family business? Like, you know, were you collecting or what were you doing?
It was eggs, bro. Not that exciting. Eggs. My dad was the egg man. So
egg man?
He would have trucks come up from the valley, bring eggs, and he sold them all. He had clients throughout San Francisco and whatnot.
Really?
Like in the old days, they didn't make a lot of money. Firemen did not. A lot of guys had second jobs, hobby job, just to make ends meet. You know, mom didn't work. We had 3 kids. So most firemen had jobs to make ends meet. My dad was an egg man. So when he passed in 77, me and my brother took over and ran the family business for a number of years after that. But I hit the lotto, dude, in 79, man. June.
Hit the lotto.
And, I tell these young kids, I go, bro, getting into the fire service is better than winning the lotto.
Hell yeah.
People who win the lotto in a couple of years, they're broke, divorced, in disarray, you know. In the fire service, holy shit, man. They pay you for 30 years. If you're lucky, and a lot of our brothers are not, they'll pay you for another 30 years. But beyond that, man, you the best of friends. The best friends you'll have, and I got lifelong friends for 40 years that I started day one with in the fire department. So it's truly a blessing. Yeah.
I mean, I think about it now and how excited I used to think about when it was time to go back to work. I'm like, holy shit, I can't wait to go to work, man. What other job is like that? There is no other job like that.
You know, when we started, we had 4 days. You know, you had 3 days off, 4 days off. The guys at Station 2, my first house, loved me because I was working trades because I didn't want to be away from the firehouse. You know, I didn't want to miss any fires or any of the fun, the frivolity, the stupidness at the firehouse.
It was that again. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I tell them, you know what, is there any union guys who listen? There's probably some union guys out there. So cover your ears for a second. But I tell them, hey, if the city came and said, we're out of money, we can only pay you half your wage, I would still go to work every day at half my wage. Yeah. And then if they came back and said, hey, we're really out of money, we can't even pay you, I would
go for free.
Farther, bro, is I would probably pay every day to get on that goddamn fire engine and go to the firehouse every day. That's how much I love my job, man. It was great.
I used to pay $40 to go to work every day.
That was tolls, right?
Tolls? Yeah. Oh,
yes, and tolls. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That was the entertainment tax, I used to say.
You can't write this stuff, man. It's just crazy, crazy stuff. Yeah.
I mean, we have a little niche here, so everybody who watches the show knows what that is. But people outside of our bubble, they see us in the supermarket, they see us going to fires or whatever. They have no clue what it's like to be in that firehouse with these guys, man. They really have no clue.
So much fun. But when that bell hits, man, shit turns around.
All business. Yeah, all business.
Yeah.
It's on. Yeah.
But you know what? After the job, you go right back to the same thing, man. And that's the fascinating part, bro. You go right back to breaking each other's balls, getting on this guy, getting on that guy. And when it's business, man, that guy, you're trusting that guy trusts you. It's serious as, a heart attack, bro. Right?
And you come back from real stupid, really gory stuff, whatever, and you're right back there having dinner, talking. People, how did you do that? The guy's head was just exploded. Oh, yeah, pretty good. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Pass me another meatball. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that looked like his eye. Didn't that look like his eye? All right.
Coop, don't mention heart attack, all right, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ruffy. I'm sorry, bro. Are you okay? Don't get too excited. Keep it down. Keep it down.
Keep it down. Keep it down.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Hey, talking to my guy all wrong.
Are you talking
Talking
about
like that all wrong.
All right, so listen, you get called at 79. How long is Proby school or the academy there?
Academy was a grueling 6 weeks. It was 6 weeks, 6 weeks of training, and then a week of driving, and then they sent you on your way. You got 2 Proby houses. And just to back up for a second, when my dad passed, Tony Sacco, who was a vice president of the union, he arranged it. So I got my dad's badge, and I wore my dad's badge as a firefighter. Then when my brother came in, I gave it to him. So he wore my dad's badge also, but I also wore his turnouts every day. I wore his helmet, and I still had it hanging up there.
Yeah.
I got newspaper stuffed in the lining. I wore his.
Is that it hanging on the wall back there?
No, it's over here. That's an old 1906 one. I got my dad's. It's beat up, dude. I mean, it's all rotted out. It's just all totally beat up. But I wore it every day till I got promoted to the battalion chief's job. And his turnouts, but it was 6 weeks of training. And then you go to your Proby house, and that's where you really learn. I mean, in the school, they taught you how to put couplings together and how to lift a ladder and tie it, whatever. When you got out in the field, it's the men that were there as your officers back then, and they were like men of fire, man. I was so blessed to work with so many great firefighters who were mentors to me and helped me along with my career. So
Did you have a lot of like Vietnam guys there or Korean War guys there? Because they were,
not so much because they stopped the draft I think in 72 or 73. I graduated in 74. My dad marched me down when I turned 18. Man, he stopped in front of on McAllister Street. Walk upstairs, kid. You're signing up for the draft, just like that, man. So I didn't get. So there wasn't a whole lot when I came in. Vietnam vets for sure in the job. Korean, where my dad was in Korean, and I worked with some pretty badass World War II vets in there.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Nothing
rattles them, right? Nothing.
Relax, kid. We got it.
Could phase them. Could phase those guys, right?
What's that, bro?
What's going to phase those guys? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no. Yeah. So that's pretty good. So you do a 6 week of training, get out of there, luckily. And what's pretty funny is one of my training officers, and they're pretty strict, okay, boys, this is how we do it. Then the night after, it's like, whop, let's go, kids. Tony Stefani, who wound up being the captain of Rescue 1, he pulls me aside and he goes, kid, your dad broke me in. Your dad showed me how to be a firefighter. He was a Proby at my dad's house. So it's kind of like passing it on a little bit.
Right.
Very, very, very excited about that.
How many guys were in your class?
We started with 32 and we wound up with 28 of us graduated. Yeah. So then after that, you get split up and you get assigned to either a truck or an engine for 6 months. So my first assignment was truck 2 in Chinatown. Mm-hmm. And I told you guys earlier, I worked watch for watch with six-pack Jack Conway, and he named deservedly, and he was a driver. And I learned to drive the back of that tiller box in Chinatown, man. And there was, red light. So let's see, how'd that go? Green light means go, orange light means go fast, and red light means run really fast. There was no semblance. People were all over those streets. I mean, narrow streets and ladders. I'm not a truckman. I'll say this right now. I mean, a lot of truckies out there. I very, very limited experience on truck. My Proby house, and during my 2 years floating around before I went to Station 7, I spent a little bit of time on truck 1, a little bit of truck on on truck 13 was in the financial, so they don't throw any ladders. It's just all big buildings there. So I've never really been a fan of truck work. I mean, I just kind of
Yeah, but you were in the rescue for 22 years.
well, the engine for sure, and then I'll tell you how I got to that rescue squad just by happenstance for sure. So I did
roughly happenstance. Yeah, okay.
I was going to say, how did you get to two truck? How
What's
did you
that?
get to two truck?
How did I get to two truck? Is that what you-
Was it a busy house? Was it a good house?
It's a great house. Yeah.
Oh.
They were going to send me to 15 truck. They all did, and the officers go, "No, that kid, he'll fit in a station 2."
That's
like,
there's
wow.
like this. That's Terry Smerdel's kid. Send him over to rescue.
Yeah, they sent me to two truck.
He ain't
Yeah.
lying. He ain't lying.
Yeah. So I did my 6 months there, and no big fires. A couple small. I thought going to Chinatown, tightly packed, lots of wood buildings. I'd be burning it. Nothing. 6
Dude,
months.
those Asians don't burn that shit down. That's
Everybody's awake.
But when they do,
but they try to put it out themselves because
when they do, it's usually a ripper.
yeah, when they do.
Yeah. So then I finished up at 2, and they sent me to Station 43 in Crocker, Amazon, and that's kind of where I hung out, Crocker Amazon Park. And I was telling Cubes earlier, the Firehouse is right across the street from the park, where the stands where we used to go over there and participate in libations as kids, drinking beers or whatever. So I felt like I was right back at home. And sure enough, there's still kids drinking in those stands, So I went back to the neighborhood, worked at 43 Engine for 6 months. George, I'm drawing a blank on, I can't believe my captain's name. Horrible.
Terrible chief you are. I can't believe
It'll
this.
come to you. It'll come to you.
It'll come to me tonight. I'll call you guys back later.
Hey, that guy.
George Neese, great man, athlete, a gymnast, But I went through all my engine stuff with him. Never caught a fire there at 43. My next 4 months there, until I got detailed out to one of the slowest houses in the city at 3 o'clock in the morning. Got a ripping third alarm. First due in on a third alarm on San Fernando Way. I'm going, wow, this is it, man. Yeah, get the line out. Go up to the front door. I'm trying to shove that front door, and it opens up, and there's a lady laying there, and she's burnt really bad. So we pull her out, and the lieutenant goes, work on her. You're an EMT, or work on her. I missed the whole goddamn fire. I'm doing CPR on one thing with this lady right here. I missed the whole goddamn fire. My first fire, I just watched it all. So anyway,
We're giving it mouth to mouth for you.
Mouth to mouth. Yeah. This
Back in the day.
I did a couple times. Did mouth to mouth, man. I'll tell you a story later on about the El Capitan when I felt very, very obligated to do mouth to mouth. I should have let the guy jump out of the third floor window instead of trying to save his life. So anyway, I finished up at 43. It was great working with great guys out there. And then you start your tour, that you're unassigned, and they move you around from station to station where they need you. So I spent a little bit of time at Truck 1. Like I said, I wasn't a truck man, a little bit of time at Truck 13. I went to Station 25 for a little bit, Station 38 up on California, where the rescue squad was. So that's about my 4 houses.
How many rescues do they have, Chief?
There's 2 rescues. Rescue Squad 1, which used to be on California Street above the marina. I was there the night of I wasn't working that day, but I went up the night of the Loma Prieta. So they're on top, and then they moved back to Station 7, where I got to go back home.
Right.
And the other one is Rescue 1 downtown. They were in the alley cats. Then they moved to 3rd Street. But there was always that competition between the squads, man, always. And when I was the captain, lucky enough to be the captain of the squad for a number of years, one of my best buddies, Pat Gardner, was the captain of Rescue 1. And we grew up together. We played PAL football together. We're 6 years old in the neighborhood. So we always had this rivalry. I came in maybe a year or 2 ahead of him. So he made lieutenant, captain, chief. So we're following each other. Dude, we'd have fist fights in the hallways.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Yeah. So 2 squads in the city was pretty much.
How do they ride, Chief? How do the engines and the truck ride with the manpower? How many guys in a
The
rig?
engines were 1 and 3. So 1 officer, 3 men. And then the trucks were they used to be 1 and 5, and now they're 1 and 4. And the squads are 1 officer and your 3 firefighters on there. Yeah. And back in the old days, before 1998, the rescue squads just got dispatched in their first alarm area. So everybody's got their little districts right here. So if a fire's in Rescue 1's district or Rescue 2's district, they would go. And the only time they went outside of their district was, one, if there were special calls for something by a chief, or when they struck a second alarm. And then we went.
Then you have 2 rescues on the box on a second alarm?
No, just
Oh,
one.
Just outside your area.
Outside your, although it's a fine line. Once we move back to Station 7 in the Mission District, there'd be a number of times when both squads would show up and the chief would just shake his head, all right, go to work, boys, But prior to that, because I did a little I'm getting ahead of myself maybe a little bit, but I did a stint in special ops. And that's when we started really putting training on for the firefighters and the squads. No, when I went to the squad in 85, there was no training. They were all firemen. They put fires out. Now
would they operate as a truck, an engine? How would they operate the rescue?
Search and rescue, bro. At a fire, they just go in. Their job was going and search and rescue. And back then, dude, you couldn't get a line, because these guys that we ran with at 38, where I was, where Rescue 2 was, you're running with 41 engine, 3 engine, 5 engine. These guys were all tough dudes, and you got a line, they ain't giving it up.
Yeah.
That's there. Today it's a little bit different. Would you like this? Oh yeah, I'll take that from you.
No, you go for it. After you.
If I must, I will. Yeah. But prior to that, we just stayed in our little bubble right there. Some special calls. So when I had this gig at Special Ops, I go, you know what? We got to get out the bubble, man. So I started petitioning the chiefs. Let us go on all the boxes. And they were like, no, we need to have you guys in the service. So I said, how about this? Let's try a little, see if this works. So we split. They called the cards, so everybody knows where they're going. You've got a big box of a big drawer full of all box cards. Every corner has a street box, and it's got numbers on it. So anyway, I said, how about this? If a box comes in and engine 7 is due first, Rescue Squad 2 goes with them. And if it's a report of fire, they go code 2. And then if smoke showing or it's a working fire, then they can pick it up. So that was pretty cool. And then Rescue 1, the same thing. If a box comes in, they go code 2.
What is code 2? Not lights and sirens?
Not lights, because the chiefs were worried, the squads would be at it. Well, that lasted about 13 minutes, bro. And it was code 3 the whole way. The rest of the time it was on, man. So after that, after 98, the squads went to everything. So we split the city in half. We were doing like 175, 80, 90 working fires from Rescue 2 a year, man, because we had the whole half of the city.
Yeah, that's 1 every 2 days or more. Yeah,
it was pretty good, man. We had a lot of fires. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Before you get there, but yeah, we're a little ahead of ourselves.
Sorry, man. I'm just rambling, bro.
That's fine. Where do you like? Ruffy, we heard this. I think we heard this from the guy from Chicago. You have to bid spots, right?
Yeah.
How much time you have or something?
Every year they have a vacancy list. So everybody would put in for the spots that they want to make, and there's some good houses and maybe some not so desirable houses. But if the captain of the house liked your crew, and there were 6 of us at Station 7, and the captains buried us. They moved us at 7 between the engine, the truck, and the hose tender. So I had 6 years in the job before I made a permanent assignment. So they would move you around. But the caveat was, if you were the highest guy, once all the assignments got put out and you were the highest guys unassigned that didn't make a house, they sent you out to Boonville, man. You had to go west of the peak.
Why is that? Like, you have the most time and because you don't get a spot, they're going to send you off to.
Yeah, they send you to comm center. Me and Mike Murphy, a Chiefs kid, we went to 40 engine, which ran like 1-2 calls a day, and we're running 20 plus calls a day in the engine and the truck down there. So a lot of guys cried. I think I told you guys, really cried and complained about, oh man, this is bullshit. I don't want to be here. So and we're calculating, dude. Fireman, we got a lot of time on our hands in the firehouse. We're calculating. This guy's here. This guy's here. This guy's here. So I figured I'm good. I'm going to stay another year at Station 7. List comes out. I'm going to 40 engine. I go, that can't be. That's not right. So I go check it. Well, there was a kid ahead of me who should have gone to 40 engine, but he's a paramedic, and he was at Rescue 1, Station 1, Rescue 1. And he's a paramedic, so they kept him down there. And I guess because he was a medic, but also too, oh yeah, Mike Sullivan was his uncle, and he was the captain of the engine. So they buried him. So I went to 40. So rather than fight it, I signed up for John Adams EMT school. I got an EMT certificate, finished that up in 4 months. I made an appointment to go down and see the deputy, Charles Cressy. Didn't know who he was. Walked in there, got my Class A's on, looking good. Chief, how are you? Have a seat there. What can I do for you? I go, I want to get out of 40 engine. You got Bobby X's down at Rescue 1 right now, and he should be there because he's a paramedic. And, at that time, the squads would run a lot of medical calls going, yeah, what do you want? Yeah, well, here's my EMT certificate, and I'd really like to go back to Station 7, please. And he looks at me a little bit. He goes, yeah, okay. He takes it and stands to the side. He goes, I'll get back to you. And so I stand up and I give him a salute. Goodbye, sir. And he puts his hand out to me and he grabs my hand. I shake his hand. He goes, I loved your dad. Your dad was one of the best firemen I ever worked with. He was the greatest. 2 weeks later, I was at Rescue 2.
Punch your ticket. Rescue 2.
Boom, there you go. Squad home. Yeah. And one of the funny things when I first made the rescue squad is after the fire was out, the squads would go home. There was no overhauling, no cleanup. There, at Rapids,
no packing hose.
Nothing, bro. I mean, that changed over the years, man. We started sticking around. But when I first did that, I go, what do you mean we're leaving? We're out of here, kid. Yeah. So that's how I got to the rescue squad in 1985. And then the next year at 86, I made the spot as a firefighter at Rescue 2. So
that's it. What'd you say? You hit the lotto right there, bro. Well, you hit the lotto when you got on the job, but
hit the lotto then, and then I hit the lotto going to the squad, and then I tested, became lieutenant, and I did my 6-month little tour thing there as a lieutenant, and then got back to the rescue squad as a lieutenant. 4 years later, I got appointed as a captain. Just spot opened up, and I came back. So it was just stars, moons were all like so.
Yeah, wow. So before we get too far, let's talk about the job. And you only had a short time on when you almost bit the bullet, bro.
Yeah.
Now, so some new picks.
What's that?
You
see, that's Brian Leong. He's a 41 engine falling out of the 3rd floor right there. I was a young kid. I had the night watch at Station 38. Rescue 2 Squad 2 was up at 38. And I never slept when I had the night watch. I stayed up and did stuff. And the chief's operator, Jimmy Cook, he was keeping me company. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, stand by for the box 3212, Port Address, Larkin Street, and 3 engine shows. And he goes, that's a bad box. And we're up there. All of a sudden, working fire, 2nd alarm. Bam, the lights go on. So we go as the engine goes, and then the squad went down there. We pulled up the thing, and it was 5 or 6 stories. Fire from top to bottom. Remember going in? The elevator shaft was one of those old ones with the.
You were in the engine of the truck, Chief?
I was on the engine. I was on the fire. We made a lead in there, and it was like a blowtorch all the way up the elevator shaft. The light wells were just lit up. I mean, every floor had fire in it. I'm going, yeah. So we're in there. We did two or three bottle exchanges. And, 5th alarm fire, there's shit everywhere. The service squad that fills your bottle. Well, the second or third bottle change, I lost my crew. I didn't know where they were. So I got a fresh bottle. I got it. I'm going back in. So I go back in, and this was like a totally free burning fire. Man, it was everywhere. I'm making my way back to the 3rd floor, and there's a crew working on the 3rd floor. It's 41 engine. Jimmy Lynch was the boss, Captain Lynch, a lieutenant at the time, Brian Leong, and I don't recall who the last kid is. So I hook up with them. Yeah. So I'm on the back, and we're going and pushing doors in. Ding, 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 ding. The bell goes off again. So I tap him on my shoulder, which was totally wrong to do. I left my crew, totally inexperienced, stupid. I'm going to go down and change my bottle. I'll be right back. So I go from the 3rd floor, and it's big round stairways. I went from the 3rd floor to the 2nd floor. It's the freaking gates of hell, bro. There was no 2nd floor, just fire. So I go back up, and I'm pounding Jim Lynch on his back. Fire. He goes, yeah. All of a sudden, it got black. It went right down to the ground. So we're in this long hallway, and I knew that the windows were down the end of the hallway. My bell's ringing, ding, ding. And those old 2As, the lower you got, the slower the bell went. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, and I'm almost, and they're backing out. I'm backing out with them, and all of a sudden, I take my last breath, sucking face mask, just so I get to the window. I bust the window and I get out on the little fire escape. I go, oh yeah, I made it. Cool. And they're going to put a ladder up and get me. And the second floor blew out. And I was like on a hibachi, man. I just had to go back inside. I was getting cooked on the fire escape. I went back in. They were at the third floor window, lynched. They were getting lynched out of the window. And I can't breathe. I got my nose is on the dirty rug in there, and I'm just soaking and dying. And then my dad's helmet fell off. And I prized my dad's helmet so much. My dad's helmet fell off, and I remember saying to myself, Smerdel, don't lose your dad's helmet. And I went to reach it, and I go, fuck the helmet, dude. You're gonna die. And I went to sleep.
Really? Out.
I went to sleep. If I never woke up, it was easy, man. I was out. And so they pull Lynch out. Brian Leon, you saw him coming down backwards, flying out of the third floor with the Scott on.
Did he get hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt. 5 of us went to the hospital. I spent 10 days in smoke inhalation in the hospital. So they send him back up. They say, hey, Smerdel is still on. There's somebody on that third floor. So 3 guys went up on that ladder. If you fish back to that picture, it was Dave Haberlin. Dave Haberlin's the guy in the top, Captain Haberlin, who retired as a division chief. The guy in the middle is Ted Corporandi, who was on Rescue 1. And the other guy is Jimmy Cook, who I was up with talking with at Station 38.
Shit.
Yeah. So they pulled me out and got me out of there. And I went to the hospital.
So Chief, somebody saw you at the window, saw you go back in the window, and then said he never came back to the window. He's right there.
He's right, because I ran back into those guys because they were trying to come out of the other window. I was in a window in like a room, and they were in a window of a hallway, and they go, "Hey, somebody's up there," because that wasn't my crew. I was at the crew of 38, which I left behind. Just stupid inexperience on my part for sure. And Captain Haberlin goes, "I thought you were a dead dog when I kicked you on the floor." I mean, it was black down to this. So they pulled me out, went to the hospital, and all's well that ends well. Yes.
What's the first thing you remember, like when you came back? When you
embarrassed, man. I was so freaking.
But where were you? Were you already out? Were you at the hospital? When did you finally come to?
Oh, in the back of the ambulance, I started waking up. I started coughing and waking. They did 6 bronchostomies in the hospital. The doctor, kid, you ever smoke? And I didn't smoke. He goes, you've been smoking for 20 years. You got lungs like a 20 years smoker, man. Yeah, but those 3 men right there, I got a couple pictures more of them. They saved my life, man. They're Jimmy Cook right there, the operator. We're chit-chatting at 3 a.m. when that box come in. And then there's Dave Haberlin, who was a captain, badass, 5 truck right there, man's man right there. And unfortunately, Dave Haberlin and Jimmy Cook died of cancer. And this is Teddy Corporandi right here. I know Tom Saragusa talked about him starting fire. If it wasn't for them, dude, I'd be dead. And I didn't talk about this earlier, but both my dad and my brother died in the line of duty. So they're both their names are etched on a wall in Colorado Springs at the fallen firefighters. I would have beat them to it, man. But my life, man. That's my brother Terry right here, man.
He got on the job. He got on the job in 90, right?
1990. Yeah. He got on the job in 1990. I got to pin Dad's badge on him. He wore that until he promoted through the ranks. So that's a 3rd alarm fire out in the industrial area because he was unassigned or wherever. And I brought him on the squad one day, and so we got to work together. We got a pretty good ripping 3rd alarm there, and yeah, that's us. We're like twins, man. We did everything together. We fished, we hunt, we worked out, we competed, and like 2 years, 2 months, and 2 years, 2 months, and 2 years, 2 months, and 22 days between us, man. But we did everything together.
That's a great shot right there.
And he was working at Station 2, Battalion 1 as a battalion chief, and he was having a little indigestion during the day. And his operator, Mike DeGree, goes, hey, why don't you get it's okay, taking some Rolaids. And one of the guys made a really spicy lunch or something like that. Oh, I'm okay. They had a bunch of calls throughout the night, went to bed. And in the morning, everybody's downstairs. My brother was always on the floor, 6:37, have a cup of coffee or whatever. And they go, where's Smerdel? And they, I don't know. So Mike DeGree goes up again in the bed. So they started CPR on him and didn't make it, man. Didn't make it. So
Shame, brother.
yeah. So both their names are etched on opposite walls at the wall of fallen firefighters in Colorado Springs. So
I went to see that, man. I went to visit that.
Yeah. So I mean, there's just a couple of pictures. The biggest funeral I've ever seen, man.
You said there was over 2,000 people there, right? It was crazy.
Over 2,000 people, man, and so many people from across everywhere, man. There's a couple of pictures of all the rigs that came in from across the Bay Area and just fill in backfill and all these firefighters. Pretty impressive. That's the holding area down by Station 4 down there, where they had all the rigs set up. So it was, yeah. So
what year was that, Chief?
I would have been on the wall of zeros, not the wall of heroes for sure. For my
zeros.
Yeah.
What year did your brother pass?
Pardon me?
What year did your brother pass?
September 10th, 2017. And, you know, for 16 years, September 11th was the saddest day of my life.
Yeah.
Now I got 2 sad days. September 11th
And the 10th.
My brother passed. Yeah.
Tell a story about how you found out, because that shows to me what the Brotherhood's all about, man.
Amazing, man. Amazing. This is Task Force 3, which I was very fortunate to be a member of for seven years, until I realized it's really a young man's job. I've been retired retired in 7 years after that. I did this. So we deployed. We sent out all of our equipment was about 8 or 10 hours ahead of us. And then we had 2 bus loads, 40 guys in each bus, plus a dog. We had 2 drivers in each bus, a bed in the back. So we never stopped. The only time the bus is pulled over, let the dogs out and pee. So we're traveling all night. And in the morning, Saturday morning, the 10th, we pull into some little town somewhere in Texas somewhere. And you know how those USAR deployments are. And the logistics are amazing. They got coffee and everything set up. I'm in the back of the bus, so I'm getting to get off, and my phone rings. And my good buddy Tommy Jakewish, he was a manager, a rescue team manager, and he was on with all the equipment. And he goes, "Hey, call the Firehouse. Something's up." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Just call the Firehouse." Then next thing you know, it's Floyd Rollins and guys from my union calling me. What the hell's going on? So he tell me, "Hey, man, looks like your brother had a heart attack and passed away." I go, "What?"
Hit him with a baseball bat, man.
So I'm by myself in the back of the bus. Everybody's gone. They're coffee, fueling up and everything. And I'm just sitting there going, "Oh, what? It can't be true." And I look up, and the next picture you'll show is Mike Schaefer. He was our task force leader. He was at the front of the bus. And I look up at him, and he looks at me, and we walk towards each other in the middle of the bus, gave me a big hug. He goes, "We're taking you home." I go, "Mike, we've been code 3 to Irma, man, to Florida. Just pull my bags off. I'll get home." He goes, "No, we're going to take you home, man." So they got everybody back on the bus. They turned that caravan around and went 60 miles out of their way and took me to Dallas Airport. They got me to the airport. I'm getting off the bus, and everybody's hugging me, kissing me. "Hey, sorry, bro." And one of our San Francisco guys, Eli Thomas, is running his dog. So he gets off, and he's my brother. He gives me a big hug. "Dude, I'm so sorry." And he goes, "Here." And he reaches out, and he hands me a wad of cash, a huge wad of cash. I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Hey, there's nothing we could do for you. Get yourself a first class ticket and get home to your family." I go, "Dude, no." So we're tossing back and forth. And Mike goes, "Hey, your bag's out. Let's go." So he takes the money and shoves it into my blouse jacket right here. And I go, "Oh, whatever." I go in. I go, "Okay, Mike, I got it." He goes, "No, I'm with you, man." I felt like a little kid. You know, he goes with me to the counter, gets my ticket, and he comes back, and I got this money in my hand. He goes, "What's that?" I go, "Eli gave me this." He goes, "Why?" He goes, "He told me to get a first class ticket." I go, "Dude, give it back to him and have beers on my brother when you guys can." He goes, "I will. Here's your first class ticket home." 4 hours later.
It doesn't get better than that.
And I can't say enough about the San Francisco Fire Department, Joanne Hayes White, the union, how they took care of me, my brother's family through this whole event, man. Very traumatic. You guys know, you guys lost brothers in the line of duty for sure. So, you know, that's how I found out my brother passed.
How many kids did your brother have, Tony?
He had 2 kids, and he just had a grandson. He just had, yeah. So now he would have his son just had another son. So the Smerdel name lives on.
There
so
you go.
Nice.
I'm great uncle of little Stephen Terry Smerdel. So very proud.
Now you got to get them on the job.
I was just going to say, Chief, is any other kids going towards the job at all? Do you feel?
No. His daughter lives in Boise, Idaho, and they're happy there. He's got 2 girls, and they have 2 girls and a boy back there. So I think I was the end of the line right there. We were the end of the line, unless little Stefan. Who knows? You never know.
You never know, bro.
You never know.
We'll take him down to the firehouse. Have the young kids take him for a ride for sure. Yeah.
Just plant that seed.
It's the brotherhood that we share that makes this job. You know, I said you can win $1 million, and it ain't worth nothing. It's the friends and the camaraderie that we have in this job. It just fills you with so much everything, man.
I mean, I've only been face to face with you for like an hour and a half, and I think I know you already. I feel like I know you. I feel like we're brothers already. You know, it's weird. It's crazy.
Well, that's the way firemen are, bro. That's the
way.
Hey, hold on. Cheers.
Salute,
brother.
Here's to your brother and your dad.
Thank you. God bless him. Yeah. Wow. So
I'll have you know,
Chief, you know what I wanted to ask you?
We were chatting about this.
I wanted to ask you something just to get back to when we've all had a couple of those times where, hopefully not too many of those times, but a few of those times where you think you're getting it, right? You think this is it, right? And when you were in that spot and you said, it was pretty, I was thinking about it, because the way you described it was you were breathing the dirty rug, right? So these are like things that just like such a detail that you think about when you're in like the worst spot in your life, right? I mean, for the most part, right?
Oh, dude.
Like, yeah. Go ahead.
No, yeah, for 1 minute I thought I'm going to die. Next minute I'm out on the balcony. I'm going to be saved. Next minute I'm back in that room, and the carpet. I remember I got my face buried in a dirty freaking tenderloin apartment house carpet. What do you think about, man? I don't know where that goes from, but yeah. But once again, thank God.
But when you went unconscious, you don't remember anything. You just went unconscious. You don't remember anything.
You saw that lip noodle on the aerial, man. I was out. They were banging me down that aerial. They said, yeah. I was out.
Until they got you into Stokes, right?
Yeah. No Stokes, man.
That's just the stretcher. Sorry, I took a better look at it.
So that's one of those clip apart stretchers they got me in after.
Scoop stretcher.
Yeah, 10 days in the hospital, man, with bronchostomy, 6 bronchostomy. Yeah. So anyway.
But didn't deter you from going to fires after that, did it?
No, man, I love it. Man, it's the greatest. You guys know, it's the greatest high in the world when you smell it. Then all of a sudden you turn the corner, that whole 3rd floor.
Dude, smelling it. I was looking at your pictures before. I was like sitting in the chair, like, oh my god, this is good, man.
We got some work to do, boys.
Yeah. Where are some of those pictures? Where are they at, Gons? Show some of those.
I think if you go back, do you have the one with Station 7, the pictures of the trucks? Maybe we could talk about that.
Well, this is what though. I just pulled this one off the internet. Is this what you're talking about? I have the truck. I have read that.
Oh, there's Rescue Squad too. Yeah. But I had a couple of pictures.
I have an old school. I don't know if this still in service or whatnot. But
that's not. I was working the day that went into service. That's how long. And that's in front of the Hazmat unit right there. That's Station 36 right there on Oak Street. Yeah, we used to have an old open air one. That was great. So the guys would just be in the back, wide open. Yeah.
So what is the new one have? Go back to the new one, Gons.
Yes, sir. There it is.
There you go.
That's not a walkthrough. That's just
that's a walkthrough inside. Yeah, it is inside.
Okay.
Yeah, but we had some old ones that were just the cab and then an open air box on the back.
Right.
Oh, yeah. But you asked me about Station 7. Maybe I had a couple pictures on there because that's where I learned to be a fireman. That's really my love, the house for Station 7. I know Eric used to talked about it, but that's where these guys right here. Yeah. I mean, these guys on the left, there's Captain Timmy Miles, Captain Russ Edwards, Lieutenant Roy Bone. The guy third from the left, I guess we're looking at, is Frank Serkos. He was a lieutenant there. He's the guy who really, really took me under his wing and taught me how to be a fireman, man. We went to a lot of fires, and all those guys on the bottom portion are all officers there. Chief Paul Tabacco, who became chief of department. Bill Murray, who was one of the greatest truck officers. His dad was chief of department. But not only officers, I learned a lot from officers, but I learned so much from the men. They, you know what, you don't have to be an officer to be a good firefighter, or to teach, because I learned so much from these guys. And then the guys at the very top are unassigned guys, and those are the 6 guys who were there that they loved us. And every station had that. No, let me back up. It's like guys like Station 1, Station 5, Station 3, Station 36. They had a group like we had at 7, and the captain dug your act. They kept you there. And so we're still all great friends today. As a matter of fact, today we just scheduled our old timers luncheon. It'll be the first week of June, I think, with all these guys. And it was really a learning experience there. Lots of fires there, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then this is the new crew. That some of us old timers are out in front right here. But I got to work with so many young kids on the squad who wound up being just great firemen. Vic Wersch, young kid on the squad. He retired as a deputy chief. Mark Hayes retired as a chief. This other kid, Tommy McGuire, whose dad I worked with, he was on the truck. And I said, dude, you got to come to the squad. And I begged and begged and begged. And he finally came over, and he worked on the squad for a number of years. And he became a boss, became the captain of Rescue 1, and then just retired as a chief. Matter of fact, we're all back in New York 2 weeks ago. 13 of us were back in New York, caught a Rangers game. And we watched the Warriors beat the Knicks and went to Scorley's, Farrell's, number of bars out there.
Nobody cares about hockey. That includes everyone.
Good one, guy. Well, now you have another reason. You have another reason to come back to New York, because we do a boat ride in August. Yeah. We have a fireboat that we get. We go around the Statue of Liberty with all our past guests of the year. So now.
Whoa, I'm in, bro.
There you go, bro.
My daughter lives in New York. She's in the East Village.
Well, then you can go stay with her, and you can come it's either the first or second weekend of August. We have a boat, fireboat, an old fireboat we go around.
You're proud, yes. Love to do that.
Oh, you'll love it. It's great time, man. Great time.
Yeah. And like this guy's at Station 7, man. There were some great firemen, man. They were there. This one guy in the engine, John Dobsinski, he's kind of weirdo, a total weirdo, dude. But he was one of the toughest firemen I've ever seen. You couldn't get a line from him, man. He's so quick off the back tailboard, and you couldn't take a line from him. We come back from the fire one day, and we're all dirty. We're taking our shit off, and he reaches in. He pulls out this big bag, plastic bag with this pull string on it. I go, "What's that for?" He goes, "Hey, if I can't get out of that building, I'm putting that bag over my head."
Get the fuck out of here.
There on my daddy's grave. So I looked at him. I knew you were a weirdo, dude. But that is really bad.
Now it's confirmed. You're a fucking weirdo, man.
John Dobsinski, man. Yeah. But there was guys like Frank Ivaroni, Jerry Heff, just great guys that, took us young kids under our wings and taught us under their wings and taught us the job, man.
Isn't that funny that no matter where you go, not even in the country, in the world, there's the same group of different, like we have a shirt that says same circus, different clowns, but it's the same group of fucking guys in every fire department, right? You got the same type of guys in every fire department.
And they all kind of congregate together. So we had 13 guys back in New York City ripping it up in Yorktown, man. It was great.
Yeah.
Up in Yorktown. Yeah.
So this guy right here is my hero, Gary Tishma. Like I told you, Frank Kirkos took me under his wing. Engine. This man right here was a fireman, Gary Tishma. He spent years on the squad, and like I said, he took me under his wing to fire. He's been packed out more fires than I have. I've been taken out of a couple fires. That man, balls to the wall in fires. And like I told you earlier, when I got up to the squad in '85, there was no rescue training, man. No 3-to-1s, 5-to-1s, no Arizona Vortexes. My first cliff rescue, it was a 5-to-1 mechanical advantage. What does that mean? So they pulled the old manila hemp rope out. The guy did a 5 guys, lower him down. Okay, he's going to pick up. Now you 5 guys, pull him back up.
5-to-1, all right, yeah.
5-to-1, yeah. You need another guy.
Full 5-to-1, bro.
Yeah. So there was really, when I got there, I mean, we got to a lot of fires, and they were firemen. That rescue world with technical rescue that I got into, it wasn't happening yet. Hazmat with Gary Tishma, we get a call up to UCSF one night for a leak. So we show up on the rescue squad. The heroes are here. We'll take care of it. I don't know what I'm doing. And this room is just white, just clouds. He goes, all right, grab your scotch. We got our turnouts on. And he grabs this jar of Vaseline. He goes, what's up? And he scoops it and he starts spreading all over my neck and over my back. What are you doing? He goes, we're going to protect your neck, kid. Put a Scott on, and with all this Vaseline to protect me from what I don't know. I was holding on to the coattails of this guy. I didn't even see him. It was all white, but he knew where to go and how to plug that leak up. And now, till today, I might die someday from this shit. I don't know. He was the kind of guy that you would just follow and do anything with, man. You know, and you guys is just so blessed and so fortunate to work with these men that, you know, and hopefully be able to pass some of the stuff that I learned off from these guys on to the newer kids. So
who does
That's one of the
Hazmat
best
now?
stories ever, I think.
It's stupid. Hazmat. So we got Hazmat. Hazmat 1 is at Engine 36, and they do the Hazmat. So when I was running the special ops for 2 years, we got some federal funding, and we put all of our rescue squads, made them Hazmat specialists. A lot of guys weren't really happy with me, man, because it was 6 weeks of training they all had to go through. They got paid, but it certainly bolstered our hazmat material response. Because before you only had 4 guys, an officer and 3 guys was your hazmat team. Now they had 8 more guys on duty every day, and then we started doing the rescue training. I mean, Chief, you're in training there, so I mean, rescue systems 1, systems 2, new CS1, CS2, ZB numbers, they give them all now. But, you know, we really upped the game for the San Francisco Fire Department, especially our rescue squad, man. They all were hazmat techs. They were all divers, open water divers, black mass divers, all had to be trench qualified, you know, high angle qualified. So we spent a lot of time doing that. So pretty pleased the way things kind of worked out for all that. There you go.
There's a Hazmat.
Yeah.
Hey, Chief, do you know Ray Dita?
I know Ray Dito. I bought a wedding ring from Ray Dito. Actually, my first marriage many years ago. My mistake. Oops. I'm continuing on. Ray Dito was a jeweler. Yeah, he worked at Station 1. You know Ray?
Keith Nicolello sent me a text. He was asking if you know him. He's a good friend of ours. He's 30 truck guy, FDNY.
There's 2 brothers. There's Ray and Ray Dito, and he had a brother in the department also. There's 2 brothers.
So listen, you're only married twice, right? This is your second time?
Yeah, I love my wife. Yes.
Listen, some guys are on 3, some guys are on their 3rd. It happens. You know what I mean?
You know, I gave away a house and a pension. No big deal, bro.
I gave away 2 houses. It's okay, bro. I gave away 2 houses.
Oh yeah, thanks, Dad.
It happens.
So that Gonzo says, you know, when I went to rescue, he's keeping me in line here because I just get
Oh no, I wasn't. I was pointing at Kev.
Wait a minute. We got to ask one question. This guy's been asking. No, not this guy. Where's the other guy? This guy's been asking the question. Hold on.
Yeah, well, Saragusa's answered it for him.
Ask him about cistern systems. They have it there in San Francisco.
I don't know. No, what systems are? They are cylinders, tanks in the middle of an intersection. And you can tell by the marking on the hydrant and then the bricks, big round bricks in the middle of an intersection, and it's full of water. So in the event that our hydrants are out of service, like in Loma Prieta, you know, I worked 2 days down in Loma Prieta after that earthquake there because 38 was right on top of that. So cisterns are just big vats, concrete vats in the middle of an intersection where we could pump water out of if need be.
There you go.
That was it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, let's talk about the earthquake. I want to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I was working at 38. That was October 13th, 1989. October 17th, 89. I wasn't working that day. I was getting ready for the ball game. The Giants were playing the A's. And at my house, I had a little barbecue set up. My neighbors all were getting ready to go to the party. It's all great. And boom, the earthquake hit, man. And it was big. Right? I'm 20 miles off of the down out of San Francisco, and I watched telephone poles just do this.
You knew what it was though right away? Like this is an earthquake.
And her car is bouncing up and down. She just So once everything got squared away at home, I'm going to work. I went up there. It was eerie as heck, but went up there, grabbed my gear, and went down to the marina. And that fire burning on Divisadero, thank God there was no wind that day. We would have lost the whole city. The hydrants were broken. The water mains were broken, so there was no water. And if you ever look back to the pictures from Loma Prieta, that fire was just burning straight up in the evening like this. We're typically always off that bay. We got a big, strong wind coming into the city. But for whatever reason that night, it didn't. Otherwise, we would have lost blocks rather than just one block. So we went down there. And again, there was no rescue training, no shoring, building shoring. If you look at some of the there's 2x4s and 4x4s, just propped up, holding the buildings for tipping over. I remember one of the weirdest things. I mean, we went through building and no search markings. None of us had training back in '89, search markings like we do now for FEMA or regional teams. And I remember looking at this building. What's really weird? Why is the fire escape on the ground? Well, that soft story just collapsed. And now the fire escape that was on the second floor on the street, the buildings were all racked, and again, we've come a long way since then in our search and whatnot. But I spent 2 days down there. Jerry Shannon, you probably know that name. He was a hero of the whole thing. He stayed 18 hours, something. I don't know what, a long, long time with this lady. Well, they cut her out. We weren't part of that rescue. But Jerry Shannon worked. We held her hand through all of this and got her out, and they remain friends until today. There you go, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
It was like block on block on block. And again, we just went through every house looking for people and trying to find void spaces. And again, this is before any of us had really any type of specialized rescue training. I went to my first rescue training in February of 1990, a couple months after the Loma Prieta earthquake. And then I continued on because then I got into the rescue world and I totally dug it. And that's what I did the rest of my career. But it was pretty. We're waiting for the next one, and we're way overdue.
Oh man, don't say it.
Oh,
how long did it take for the city to get back on its feet after that? Like before it was normal.
It was a while because it was devastated throughout the city. Man, they lost a couple people on Bluxom Street across from 8 engine Station 8 because a lot of brick facades and all the brick facades came down and fell on people. It was quite a while before the city got up.
When I think of that earthquake, I think of the highway, right? I think of the bridge that collapsed, and I think of the highway that pancaked down on itself, right?
That was the Nimitz Highway there, Nimitz Freeway. And I had buddies working over as medics in Oakland, and they go, it was gruesome, man, because they were in there, and they brought specialized guys in there to do extrications and actually had to cut people out of the
cars that were squished.
Yeah. And it was a guy, Buck Helms, is a guy who lived. Like he was under there for days, and they finally pulled Buck Helms out. I mean, that was a big. They were watching the rescue, trying to cut him out, but he was in there for I don't know 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. I don't remember what that number was. He finally died. He succumbed to his injuries, but they pulled him out. I remember him waving coming out of the Stoke stretch.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there it is, Cyprus, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the Bay Bridge took a dump. We lost.
You actually saw the car go off, right? The car realized that
the car was just hanging on there. So, so we got to go up there and play on the bridge after this was all going on. So because the bridge was out of service, and that's how we made kind of our inway with the bridge guys. And so we used that bridge many times for our high angle work over there. But yeah, that Loma Prieta, I was there for 2 days, and it was.
Did any firehouses get wrecked from that? Or sustained damage?
I don't think so. But you know what? Family members came into Station 38 and cooked because everybody was coming in off duty. Everybody was working. And I remember there was wives and kids and whatnot at our Firehouse 38 cooking and taking care of stuff for us. Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, it's like, another kind of funny story in the rescue. Again, we had zero training. All right. So I'm doing water rescue now. Here's a wetsuit kid. And I go out for my first open water rescue and I swim out. I got a Peterson buoy with me and I swim it out. I'm going to save this guy's life. I swim up to him. No training. And what does the guy do?
Gets you under.
Boy, he never expected to get socked in the face, did he? Punched that dude so hard, man. So I finally got, so ever since that, I got him his buoy and swam back in. But ever since then, I always took 2 buoys out, one for him and one for
him,
me.
one for you.
Super great swimmer, man. I sink a lot, you know, but and then,
Blip, 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 blip.
yeah. And then I don't know if you ever heard of the Mitchell brothers. The Mitchell brothers had an adult, what is the word I'm looking for? A cabaret. They did adult videos. They did
The adult club.
Adult club. Yeah.
There you go.
So Jimmy Mitchell and Artie Mitchell were at the beach with their kids. The kids get in trouble out there. So the 2 old porn star guys, and they weren't porn stars, they just ran everything. They go out there, then they get in trouble. So we show up. I pull in Artie Mitchell, and another guy gets Jimmy Mitchell in. We take him to the hospital, and they were so thankful. We saved their lives. Their kids all got in. They put a shrine in this adult club to Rescue Squad 2. Oh, I mean, huge. As soon as you walk in, you get pay your $30 to get in. How did I know?
Well, how did you know it's in there, bro?
Yeah. Well, that's really young pictures of those guys, man. Artie killed Jim. Artie killed his brother.
No.
Artie killed his brother, shot his brother. Yeah, they were so dysfunctional, man. That whole thing. But I became friends with Artie. I used to go down there and hang out, and they put this whole glass shrine up. And then every year they donated $10,000 to our water rescue team for training that I could have used. There's so many.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Godge, where's the picture of the guy with the legs underneath the van? What was that?
Those were that was some of the training that he did in a different.
Oh, that's training. I thought that was real.
Yeah, that was just a training thing down at NASA. Because we did. I mean, I worked with a bunch of great guys. And down at NASA, they have the Ames dart team down there, and every year we would put on six days of super intense training from Minnesota, all over the United States, Canada. We had guys come up from Brazil, firefighters from Brazil would come up and do this type of training. And then we got invited down to train with these guys. So this is the military down there. And the firefighters are part of the military. So myself, Tom Jakewish, Arthur Belton, and my good buddy on the East Coast with you guys, Tom Billig. We've been down there 5-6 times maybe. They don't pay us. They flew us down. They put up in shit hotels, but we got to work with. This is their special ops team right there. And then they have firefighters that all carry guns. Imagine that. All the firemen in Brazil carry guns.
Carry guns.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. We're going out to lunch and they all got automatic weapons on their back.
Oh, I love it.
Go to the supermarket for the meal. Can you imagine going in with?
We're sitting there having, all their meat dinners and whatnot. They all got their MP5s or whatever they got on them, man. Crazy. Yeah. But we got to go down there 5 or 6 times and work with them down there and again, passing on a little bit of knowledge or whatever down there. So having fun, drinking.
So you were more or less instrumental in bringing all the training to the rescues?
I did a lot of that, because I got into the rescue world and I saw what was happening outside of San Francisco. A lot of times San Francisco is in this bubble and don't bother us, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So once I got started training back in 1990 when I took my first class, this kid, Jerry Coleman from San Jose Fire, he took me under his wing and really taught me the ropes. And then I started taking classes and training. And I've been an instructor since 1994, doing all the different disciplines. We started a company in 2008, right after 9/11. All that federal money started coming into departments to start training up and whatnot. And then, so we were doing at Treasure Island, our training facility, we were doing 2 classes a week, like a confined space, a systems 1, systems 2, whatever it was, for like 6 or 7 years. And then all of a sudden the federal dollars stopped and the department, I go, well, we got to keep training. Well, we don't have any money. I don't know what to do. So there was 5 of us. We started a company, NorCal Rescue Training, and we just took over when the department stopped. And we sold the company in 2018, but I'm an employee. I just show up on Monday morning. Hey, boss, what do you want me to do? But I love training, and I love being able to work with these young kids. And most of these kids that come and takes these classes, they're motivated. They want to learn. They're expensive classes. Some guys pay on their own. Some guys, federal dollars pay for it. but it's nice working with firefighters who want to learn. Because we did a ton of training for the department. Like I said, every month we did 2 1-week classes, and some guys just didn't want to be there. It was a pain in the ass. This is some high line Telford type shit we're doing here on one of those things. So, yeah.
Chief, what did you think about that guy in what was it, Louisville, where he went off the bridge?
Oh man, that was good.
What was that? Remind me.
That was just the last week. The tractor trailer was hanging off the bridge, and they set up a high point. I guess it looked like, I don't know if it was a tower ladder. Maybe Gons knows more.
The truck was hanging off the bridge like this, and
the cab of the truck was hanging.
And the guy was still in the cab?
Yeah.
Yeah, a woman.
Okay.
You got to check it out. It was pretty incredible. Guys, how did they set up? Did they set up with a crane, the high point? What did they do?
You're muted, Guns.
I think they put it. I think they tied off to the bridge, but I'm going to find out for sure how they did it. The only picture I have is I'm going to pull one up for you guys.
Because it looked like they didn't. I don't think they had. Because the high point they had to put out over.
They use
the water.
they use the aerial. I can look at it now. I got a little short video that they're playing. Yeah, they extended the aerial, and then he rappelled down from the aerial.
Oh, so they weren't even touching the truck, just aerial up and coming down. They get the lady out of the cab and pull her out.
Yeah, they pull it. It was a struggle.
No, he rappelled. They lowered him down. They lowered him down too. Yeah,
he rappelled down from the stick. Yeah,
how does it work, man?
Yeah, it was
doing it. So, do you still do the training, Chief?
I do.
Oh, good for you. You're still in it.
Yeah, you know what? I enjoy it. You know, I get to work with guys, the firemen from all over the Bay Area, because now the company's expanded, so they're all rescue cats, and then we get to pass that information on to these young kids, and that's what I really think about. You asked me, we'll talk later on about thought of the day, whatever. But our job is so perishable. You know, I mean, there's not as many fires you go to, and you guys in technical rescue. I mean, there are few and far between full-on technical rescues. You know, you got to practice every day in some discipline so you're ready to.
Like I say, you have to be so proficient in it, because when that day comes, bro, there is no second guessing, there is no fumbling, there's no. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's badass. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the truck there, Chief.
You want to be that guy on the end of that line, man.
That's a rescue of rescues right there, man. You train for shit like this all the time. If this came in. This was they did a good job.
But that guy in the end of the line, that's the easy part. It's the other guys on the backside of there doing all the work.
It's the guy who came up with that plan of how to get the high point out.
The rigger.
That's the guy.
Yeah,
the rigger. Yeah,
it looks like a shared system that they're running right there. Is what it looks like.
Totally. So, yeah. So you got probably some friction device,
FPD, or they're using a clutch. Clutch is a new way to go.
Clutch is the way, bro. That's it. So you guys remember the old RPMs?
Yeah, RPMs. We would teach him. I have one old time guy. That's what he likes to teach. We're trying to get him up to the new wave of stuff. Great guy. He's too smart for his own good.
You look at that RPM and go, what is this thing, man? It's like the Flintstones use that stuff, man.
So when you go on the rescue squad in San Francisco, they'll take you and they'll send you for the training?
No. So now what it is you have to have your classes. So you have to have 5 years on the job even to apply. You have to have 5 years experience to even apply for a rescue. And then you have to be a diver. You got to be an EMT, which they all are. You have to have your confined space training. You have to be a hazmat specialist. So they provide, you have to have those certifications when you apply to become
you got to get them on your own then.
You got to get them on your own.
Wow.
Sometimes the departments provide those because through the federal dollars that happens, you know. But it's all on you. When you put your request in to go to that squad, you have to have that whole list of things. And they provide the ongoing training, certainly, after you get on the squad.
So that's a big commitment. That if you know those guys really want to be there. If they coming in there with those certifications already, man.
It's the only place to be, brother. It's the greatest. Because we were hands off. The chiefs, we pull up to a fire. You know, most guys, hi, Engine 3 reporting in, Chief. When I show up, they go, just go like that. Put the fire out. Tell me what's happening. Yeah. Usually I'm running by like this. Okay, Chief, got it.
Hey, Chief, that's
motivated. And I got to work with the greatest kids at rescue too, man. They're just, still today, it's happening today for both squads. rescue
Hey,
whenever.
Chief, you had a couple other fires there that you had listed on. I saw your timeline. What was one of
We
the
got
hotel or
photos.
something?
Some of them are scary.
Oh,
God,
well,
bring them up.
I'll tell you about one of them. That
Which one?
the El Capitan Hotel.
That was the one, yeah.
The El Capitan, Tom Saragusa was division chief that night. It was a warm. It was St. Patrick's night. We're in the
I
back.
remember this show.
STU, Station 7. We're playing cards, smoking cigars, and then no, that right there is Capp Street fire. That
Okay.
But the let's go back. Let's talk about that one right there. The Capp.
This
Street.
one? Okay.
That's a scary one.
I tell you what, bro. That was like that when we pulled up. I have been to a lot of fires, and by far, this was the hottest fire I've ever been into. I mean, it was wide open, 3 stories going up, kind of Romeo type thing. And the arsonist, he put mattresses in the hallways and down the stairs, and then doused them with gasoline. So this video was taken by neighbors across the street. You can see how it's rolling. It took a. And the front door is down on the bottom here. So me and my partner, I split the squad. I sent 2 guys to the back. We're going to go through the front. And I get to the front door, and the front door looked like that on the top right there.
This is going to taste like shit.
So I looked back. The engine company pulled up, and they were having a little bit of trouble deploying their ready line. So me and my squad partner, we pulled the ready line up and had to douse the first floor in order to get to the second floor and then to the third floor, which is totally burnt away. But I timed this. I never seen this video until 2 days ago. Tom Saragusa sent it to me. And I mean, 5 or 6 third-degree burns. We got burnt like shit, man. Our legs, our back of our legs, my hand, I got third-degree burns. I got a $700 Cal OSHA fine for not wearing the right gloves at that fire.
Man, the Vaseline didn't help here then, huh?
Vaseline has its place, but not right here, okay? So as soon as I showed up, we were the first rigs on. This was 2 blocks from the firehouse at 3:00 in the morning, and that's the way it looked when we showed up.
Man,
lady jumped out of just like boom. I looked, and there's a lady laying right there. The medics were right behind us. So they took care of her. We made our way up. It took and I timed it on here. It was 7 minutes from the time the engine showed up.
okay, come on.
Until we had water pumping out the front window, out of that window right there. It was like a terrazzo, concrete floors and stairs that were just so hot from the gasoline and the mattresses. When the crews behind us were spraying water and we were first up those stairs, all that steam came up. The crew behind us got all burnt, their legs, their knees, right above their turnout boots. That was a hot. 2 people died. We actually kind of grotesque, but we crawled over, didn't know they were bodies. I mean, they were just they were melted on the floor right there. So, but my buddies on the back there was a lot of good rescues that night made. Unfortunately, 3 people perished in that fire. But
this guy's making me nauseous.
Yeah, that was a pretty good fire.
Finally made it to that windows.
You could see the line coming through the window there. You see it?
And I timed it because I wanted, because when you're in a fire, you don't know, time just kind of stands still. So I
real deal right there, bro.
Yeah, 7 minutes up to get water out that front window there.
Yeah, we're at 8:55. So
yeah,
that's pretty legit.
Yeah, that was a burner, bro. That was a good one. And the other one I was going to tell you about was the El Capitan fire, and it was an old hotel on Mission Street. We're in the backyard playing cards at night, and all of a sudden, smell that? There's something burning. All of a sudden, box, boom, we pull up, and El Capitan is on fire. So the address is on Mission Street, and we're coming up behind the building. I see the backs flying. We pull into the parking lot, and there's a guy hanging out of the 3rd floor. And I go, oh, shit, I'm doing this. Stop. We'll get you. And there's smoke all around. And for whatever reason that day, I had a probie on the rig. Rarely take somebody who's not assigned, but I had a probie with me that day. And it was a wild ride. So, I always prided myself in knowing where I'm at in the building. Right turn, left turn, right turn, get out. So we go down. I got this kid with me, and it's black and it's shitty as hell. So we go into the room, get in there, and the guy's out the window. We go, okay, we're going to take him out. We're going to drag him through that smoke. We're going to get him out. We get him, go back to the door, and the door's closed. I don't know where the door's at. and the guy is choking. So we drag him back across the room, put his head out the window. I tell the probie, stay with him right here. I'll find the door. It had one of those spring hinges on it. So we went in and closed the hinge, you know. So, okay, go back. I go, where's the guy? Now he's on the ground, passed out. Oh, fuck. All right. So now we're dragging him out down the hallway. I got the probie on my back. We're dragging out. And I go, okay, turn, we're out of here. All of a sudden, hit a wall.
Oh, no.
I go,
Oh boy.
no, there was never a wall here, dude. And I'm thinking to myself, where the hell am I? I don't think in my mind, you know. And this guy, he's half naked because we're dragging him. It was an old theater, and they had those pins that melted and closed the door.
Oh, close the door.
Oh, the fire stop.
The lead fuser or whatever they used to call that, right?
Whatever it was, man. So it was boom. So now I got probie on my back, dragging this cat with us, man. And he's, you know, now he's not coughing much anymore. Find our way to another doorway.
Yeah, right.
Doors, and I hit the panic door, and 11 truck is trying to get through. It's a big steel door. They go, what? And all the smoke piles out, and we pull the guy out, and he wasn't breathing. So he asked me about doing mouth to mouth. So then I felt responsible. I should have just pushed the guy out the window or let him jump. He might have broken an arm or broken a leg. Now I killed the guy. So I did mouth to mouth on this balcony, and medics come up, and I'm looking at this guy, and he looks just like my dad. I'm looking at my dad. He looked just like my dad. Oh, I'm doing mouth to mouth, and he lived. The guy
all right.
was back in the hospital, but that was a pretty, just knowing where you're at. You knew, like, when you get in those fires, man, you know, make a right, make a right, make a right, make a left, get out of there. But all of a sudden, something different. So anyway.
That's a hairy job.
Yeah. So Tommy, some of our finest rescues were cock rings.
I'm sorry, what?
Can I say what?
I've had a couple of those.
You had a couple of those? We had quite a few of those.
Oh, San Francisco, bro. You know what I'm saying?
They say it looks like an eggplant. They ain't kidding.
We were
Ain't lying.
experts.
Wait, I
We
think I have a
see
picture
them
of one of those.
in all shapes and sizes. One of the best was a 3/4 inch plumber's elbow that was lodged right in the middle. So depending which way you looked, it made a hard right or a hard left.
Oh my God.
And Jerry Coughlin was on the squad that day, and he goes, "Oh, that looks like a Red Delicious." We're in an operating room, and doctors go, "Please keep the jokes down, guys." So we walk in. The nurse is holding the head of his penis, and the doctor's got a hacksaw. Relax, we got it.
Man.
Get the Dremel tool out, but they call us. You know, we get a call one day. They call the Firehouse first. Hey, we got a ring. It's a plate. It's a workout plate. And my first question is it a standard or Olympic plate? What are we doing? But it was just crazy, man. So many of those stupid things.
I thought I had a picture of one. I was trying to find it.
Yeah. Well, here I got one in my wallet. Oh, no.
That was Rescue 2's patch, wasn't it? Isn't that Rescue 2, home of the cock ring? Isn't that what it said on Rescue 2's patch? Rescue 2, home of the cock ring?
we did the preferred method. We had a guy write up this whole scenario how to remove. You know, you get the dick depressor, and somebody's got to handle the luggage. So, junior man, you're handling the luggage with the dick depressor.
You got to take
got
care
the
of
luggage? Proby. Oh, you got Proby.
You're the luggage man. You're the luggage man. So,
what's the other pictures? What's the other pictures we got, Gonzo? Do we have other flyers on it?
I think you got
the Halloween one is what we have.
Segue away from the cock ring.
So you know what? I threw that in there to show you guys. You notice those aerial ladders are just going up. This was Halloween night, 16th and Sharon. I was on Engine 7 that day working with Jack Skidmore and another classmate of mine, Stevie Farrack. Yeah, we show up and this thing is just blowing like this from the get-go. You know, these old wooden buildings down there, they're like matchboxes there. So that was a pretty good fire that night. And luckily there was a grocery store down below with a lot of waters and Cokes and sodas down there. So when we got thirsty after fighting that fire, we refresh ourselves down in
allegedly.
What are those type? Go back to that. What are those look like typical San Francisco buildings. What are those called?
They're just wood frame type 5. You know, that's a 3-story over a 4-story total over a store down there. But when these get going, man, they're all so close together. I mean, we've lost blocks. I mean, we do a pretty good. I think we do a pretty good job of stopping those. But when you show up and it's going like this, all right, a lot of pipes, maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
But that was a pretty. And the other picture I showed you there was the furniture mart. It was like top floor fire, and again, it was just another one of those fifth alarm fires we went to.
Yeah.
But
I marked that damn thing too. Where is that?
It was right around that one.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a really great picture of the fire, but I was telling Gonzo Cubes, me and the officer from Station 36, we got a 45-minute timeout at this fire by the chief of department and the deputy chief, because we were on the fire escape and we got a ladder. I mean, we got a bundle, 2 bundles. We were hooked up to the Y down below, and we're going to go in and we're putting this fire out. And they're screaming at us on the radio, crews on the fire escape, evacuate, get out, get out, get out. And I look at him, he goes, no, we're going to go in and put this fire out, man. So he reaches
2 more minutes. 2 more minutes.
And he turns my radio off. We turned our radios off. We're going in. We're putting this fire. We're not listening to anybody. Stupid. Next thing I know, I get this crushing blow on my back. It was one of the battalion chiefs smashed me to the ground. Come on, kid. You guys are all getting out of here. So we had to sit there and time out. So
They put you in a corner.
Yeah.
Put baby in a
corner.
At least you didn't poke him.
Oh, you look very scary in that fucking
Where? Oh, him. I know. Yeah. Look at that.
Man.
Oh, man, that's creepy. We got a throwback photo courtesy of
That's the first thing I started working at. That's
yeah, courtesy of Pee Wee in the chat just sent this to us. Thanks, Pee Wee.
What is that, Guns?
Yeah,
that's the one of the rigs you guys were talking about earlier. Pee Wee just sent it to me.
That's Nelly Bell. They call that Nelly Bell. It's a V12 rig, fast, man. That rig, double clutching that thing, man. That thing flew.
That wasn't a rescue rig, was it?
That was a rescue rig. Yeah, that was it, brother. We're going down the street, waving to moms and little kids. Hey, fireman! Yeah.
Now that's old school, right?
Old school. That's old school right there.
Were you in? It was Rescue 2 in the district where all those hills are in San Francisco.
There's hills everywhere. Yeah.
Was there? How was that?
Yeah. Well, Rescue 2 before it moved down. So Rescue 2 was up on the top of the hill over the marina where the earthquake was. Then in '93, they moved the squad back down to Station 7. So I love 7. I went back home. So in '93, the squad came back to 7. I went back there and I stayed there until 2008. From '93 to 2008, until I got appointed town chief. They were down there.
So we talked about this before. So you were the fireman there, and then you got promoted lieutenant, and you got back there as lieutenant, right?
I got back as lieutenant. Yeah.
And how many years you worked there as lieutenant then?
Oh, probably 5 or 6 years, then 4 years as a captain, or 8 years as the captain, 4 years as lieutenant, and then 8 years as the captain. And I'll tell you a real quick story. I'm not a truckman by any means. None. I got appointed lieutenant, and I get my assignments. I'm going to Engine 1. Great. 25, 30 calls a day. Got it. Then my next shift is the fireboat. Nothing at the fireboat. And then my third watch is at Truck 8. I walk into Truck 8. There's 5 guys on that rig with 135 years of experience. Hi, guys. What can I do for you today? Tell me what you guys need. There was no way I'm bossing these cats around. And it was a very humbling experience, because I told guys, you got to be proficient across the board. And I certainly am not a great truck person by any extent of the word, because you see those hills and, working in the Mission District, working in the Noe Valley, they're throwing 35-foot wooden ladders, 365 pounds on a hill to these peak Victorians. If you're a truckman or an officer,
that's a skill, man. Yeah,
it's like art, dude. It's amazing watching some of these men how they operate, and women too. We got a lot of chicks in the department now, so. But I'm kind of.
Why do they refuse to go to? Why do they stay with the wooden ladders? History or what's this?
History, I guess.
Yeah.
We burnt a lot of those up, man. I've seen a lot of those burnt up.
No doubt.
Pull that out of that window. It's smoking right now. Yeah.
So how do you get the call to come back to Rescue 2 then as lieutenant? Like what happens?
Oh, I bid for it. So I went out and I did my 6 months, at Engine 1. Fireboat 1, and then at truck 8, just hallelujah, guys. God bless you guys. Take care of me. And then they had the next vacancy list, and I put in and I made it. You know, it was like the stars and the moons were all lined up, and I got back on the squad. I worked there. I took the captain's test. I got promoted. And once again, everything was lined up. You know,
Dude, everything's lining up for this guy a lot. I don't know what happened.
Sometimes, you know,
very lucky.
when you're good, you're good.
Very, very, very lucky.
When you're
man.
good, you're
very,
good.
Very blessed. I every day I thank God for my career. 1, that I didn't die, and 2, I didn't kill anybody. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
You
almost did. The guy that you dragged out. You
push him out the window, man. Just get out of here.
Pushed him right out the window, brother.
Stay away from the light, little buddy.
Yeah.
So you're in a perfect spot. You're the captain of Rescue 2. Why do you study to become chief? What do you think? Why?
You know, I don't know, man. I you know what I tell you, I hate chiefs, and I work with some of the greatest chiefs in the world. And guys go, "Aren't you a chief?" I go, I hate myself. Okay, I hate myself. I went from the greatest group of guys that knew their shit. And you know what? We get to a fire or to a rescue, very few words were spoken because we trained, we went to so many fires, and then I became a battalion chief, and I'm babysitting 5 companies, and these guys are, you know. So, but. I don't know. It was the best years on the rescue squad, man. And there's some guys, Adam Wood, I'll mention his name. He's just retiring right now as a firefighter with 28 years on rescue squad too.
Wow. I did some time. He did some fires, bro.
Oh, yeah. Guys go to a squad, they don't leave, man, unless you get promoted. It's the greatest job.
Why would you?
We're citywide. I could go anywhere. They go anywhere they want in the city. Do anything you want. Just show up when they call you.
Why do you think Liam Flaherty keeps turning down Chief? Captain of Rescue 2. He keeps turning down Chief.
Yeah, it's good for retirement, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. At some point, you did all the work to study. You got to take it at some point, you know.
Well, you know what?
Don't study. There you go.
I never had a probie. I never had one probie because I was on the squad my whole life, my whole career. And probies, except for that one day, they don't get assigned probies. Right. And because I was on the squad, I never did a report of my career. If you did a medical, the paramedics did it. If we went out, a chief did it. So I never did a report. Very rarely did I have to fill out a report.
You know what's so funny about that? Louis was supposed to do it.
I know
but
that
he never
feeling.
did
I
it
was
anyway.
supposed to do it.
Yeah, so when it came time for the report writing section in the battalion chief's test, I was lost, man. I'm going to my buddies, hey, what about this? What about this? Never did a report. And then when I got appointed, I had an operator. And he did the reports. So I was a slug, dude.
Dude, you were living the dream.
Pretty much. Very blessed. Once again, I'll tell you. Very, very freaking blessed, man. Yeah.
Were you working the day there was 2 line of duty deaths? June 2nd, 2011. Were you working for the 2 line of duty deaths?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I wasn't working that day. That was Vinny Perez and Tony Valerio. Yeah. Yeah. They were in up in our Diamond Heights area, and the houses are big, and they go down the big side of a hill, and they were inside, and the fire blew up and just came up the back of the building, and very sad. Yeah, Tony Valerio and we called him the Creature, Vince Perez. He was at 7 for a long time. Everybody's got a nickname in them. You know how it is. Everybody's got a nickname. Yeah, God rest their souls, man. Yeah.
Tom Saragusa in the chat said that was his job.
What's that?
He had the job of the line of duties. Saragusa said he had it.
And he was instrumental too. My brother passed too. Totally instrumental, and he very helpful. So
he's a good guy. I like that Saragusa guy.
Even if his name is Tom, not Tony. I tried to cite the Tony and nobody got it.
Go to his head. No way.
Tony.
All right, let me ask you a question. Best time in your career?
Sitting around the dinner table, yucking it up. The best.
What point in your career? At rescue? As a firefighter, lieutenant, or captain?
I totally enjoyed my job as a firefighter. You know what I mean? You just did your job, got to go to a lot of fires. I really enjoyed being the captain of the squad because I had time in and trying to help these newer firefighters instill the importance of training, instill the importance of loving your job. I tell you that you got to be those who are good firefighters are passionate about their job. Today it's generational. Mm-hmm. The kids that are coming in now, it's different, you know. It's passion that makes you a good firefighter. It's passion that makes you a good officer. And those guys who have it are good firefighters and good officers. And so, you know what, being the captain for 8 years, you know, I got to run the show, if you will. But again, I always talk to my crew. What do you guys want to do today? What do you want to train on? What do you guys need to do today? Take care of your crew, you know? And yeah, that's really it.
All right, here's another question for you. Who does more work, Rescue 1 or Rescue 2?
Well, Rescue 1 used to get a lot of work before those guys in fire prevention and inspection put all the sprinklers downtown. Rescue Squad 2 does all the fires, okay? Matt Gardner, if you're listening, the ex-captain of Rescue 1, they call us the other squad. Well, the other squad got all the fire because we're in the Mission District, still burning today. And we go out to Hunters Point. We go into the poor section out to Visitation Valley, older homes out there, wood frame homes. So right now, Rescue 2 is heads and heels over Rescue 1 for fires for sure. But in the old days, back to the 60s, 70s, early 80s, maybe, they got a lot of fires until they started retrofitting all the downtown tenements with sprinklers.
Fire prevention.
Those guys, I hate them, man. I mean, we go to fifth alarm these fires. It was just amazing. Sunday morning seemed like a good day for fire. Sunday morning, 8 a.m. in the morning, the Concordia on Van Ness, fifth alarm. Across the street, another Sunday morning, 8 a.m., Jack Tar Hotel. Completely 5-alarm fires. But, you know, and many of those down in the Tenderloin. But once they sprinklered them, rooming contents at best, you know, got out in the hallway a little bit. Okay, great. Not like those fires you see. Not like that Marlow Hotel, man. That was one of the first big ones that I seen. My eyes were like, whoa, saucers, yeah.
All right, here's another question for you.
Yeah.
If you could do anything over in your career, if you could, not saying that you would, what would you do over?
I don't know. You know what? I don't think I would really do anything different. I feel so lucky and so blessed the way my career went. I mean, and like I said, I didn't know what this rescue squad crap was until I walked into with my EMT certificate to the deputy chief. I didn't know anything about rescue squad. I want to go back to Engine 7. That's where I love working. No, I don't think I would change anything, man. You know.
I got to tell you, when you talk about fires in the fire service, you light your whole face lights up, bro. You're like,
it's very flushed.
Yeah,
it's the greatest high. You know, I've been high before, but this is the greatest.
This is the greatest high.
No adrenaline rush. It's just the absolute.
It reminds me of who was the chief from Chicago not too long ago? Was that Mo?
Mo
was that?
Yeah, another guy.
That guy has the same. Yeah, you could tell those guys are just crazy for the job.
Love the job.
And, you know, it's like when I learned, these guys took me and I shit myself many times, man. What are we doing here? You know, talk about hang on, kid. Yeah, it was hang on, kid, you know, and that's how you learn, you know, and I wouldn't change anything. I'm very blessed, very lucky.
What does this say, Tony? What does that say again? As a question,
Tony. I got it. Modest. Sorry, I got it.
Oh.
Tony, were you on the rescue when they had the American LaFrance rig? I hear people always shit talking of ALF.
No, I mean,
but they were my favorite looking rigs.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, they were the old open cab rigs, the old American LaFrance. And so the driver and the officer were in the cab in front, and then we're on the back, standing on the back. And in those days, we never wore seatbelts. You know, we'd be on a fire engine 5 or 6, or on a truck. You know, nobody had seatbelts. Like you go around the corner, guys are kind of sliding off the rig. They're going around the corner. Yeah, they were pretty cool old rigs. They had the old Ward LaFrance, the American LaFrance.
Yeah, I have. Let me see. This is what I have. I got another courtesy of Pee Wee again.
He's on the game tonight, bro.
Hooking me up. This is what he sent me.
So that is one of the original rescue squads right there. So the first one you showed was Nellie Bell, the very first one that's a museum piece right now. But this is where I worked on for years right here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And we stood on the back.
That's a pretty wild looking rig.
It was a piece of shit, but it was great.
A piece of shit.
Where do you guys standing in there?
Right in the back. It's open in the back.
Yeah, they get this little cover that's right here. Like
so we had a great view of the city, and you could tell it's because the officer and the driver were in the front, but we got a 360 up on top. And if we see that smoke, I'm saying, you're banging.
That's universal, huh?
Working fire.
Yeah, spent many watches on that rig.
God, do they do that in Florida? Do they wrap on the window guns?
We have headsets, so everybody can look forward. So it's kind of like, hey,
Headsets?
yeah, we have the David Clark headset.
There's
So
nothing better than wrapping on the window and it's a job, bro.
That's those days, unfortunately, are gone for us.
Question. As a lieutenant, did you ever do that?
You guys are bringing back great memories. There it is right there. That's at Station 38 right there, man. Yep. That's when it was up in the marina. Look at that old piece of work.
That's crazy, man.
That's a good old GMC, man. Hard working truck right there. But
a lot of fires on that rig. And you can see, look at how much space. There's not much room for equipment, okay?
No,
so we didn't have nearly zero equipment like they carry on the squads today. I tell you, we were pretty bare bones for sure. But you know what? The old cats got the job done.
Yeah,
always was a 3-to-1 or a 5-to-1. I don't know what we're pulling. How many guys are on that line? Always got the job done, man.
This is a great.
I think Hemsley Hem with the 3/4 tweeter.
Yeah,
this thing probably turns on a dime, man. Right?
Ruffy,
best turning
bang on the window as an officer.
Not so much. Not so much.
Yeah, cool.
Did you ever bang on the window as an officer, Ruff?
What's that?
I did.
You did?
I did a few times. Yeah.
Good for you. Do they still do that in San Francisco? Bang on the window and as a job?
Oh, on the top? Well, in the old days, yeah, because on the wards or the American La Francis, we all stood up on the back over the cab and the officer and driver were in there. So it would be banging on there. They knew, hey, we could see the smoke. Boom,
Yeah.
Everybody's getting all pumped up. Let's go. This is great memories, man. I want to go back to work one day and catch a fire. I'm so ready.
Doesn't everybody, bro?
You know it. You got it.
Let me ask you a question. When you retired, did you ever have the dream that you got to run, you couldn't find your bunker gear?
No.
A lot of firemen have that dream. Dude, I can't tell you how many retired guys I talk to who say they have the same dream. They're back in the firehouse, they get a run, but they can't find their gear. It's
go in your boxers. It's all good, bro. Show and flow. We're good. I'm here. Yeah. No, if my body wasn't so beat up, I would think about it, man. But I would just absolutely crave going into another fire, man. But
what year did you retire, Chief?
Pardon me?
What year did you retire?
I retired in 2012. Yeah, with 32 years in. I retired the same day I started. I started on December 10th, and I retired on December 10th.
Well, that's funny. I started on October 15th, and I retired on October 15th.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How many years did you do?
I only did almost 19.
Too
nice.
many.
Yeah. Not enough.
I don't know.
I know. I mean, I missed the heck out of the job. What I miss is going to fires and the dinner table. Everything else.
Ruffy, what'd you do? 30?
27.
27.
27.
Yeah.
Someone's asking about truckies and squads having different colored helmets. Is that so?
They do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The truckmen are red and white, and the squads are black and white, and then the engine guys are all black.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah. Good. Hold on. Check this. Hold on 1 second.
Hold on 1 second. Hurry up back.
Hey, Coob, I'm down to 5%, so I'm just gonna run it out.
This is my dad's helmet right here, man.
Oh yeah. Hold on a minute.
Oh man.
Yours. I'll show you mine.
Dick contest.
Look at how the back is all rotted out.
We know
sticking out.
We know a guy that can fix that.
Hey, Chief, Kevin.
Perfect. Let's see what you got.
False.
I'm gonna grab mine.
That's my dad's helmet.
Like a peanut.
You guys are knuckleheads, man.
You hit them too many. That was great. I should have did that. My bad. We still playing.
Oh, good times. Good times. All right, I think it might be that time. My face hurts from laughing. Stop. I'm happy that time, Gons.
I think it is that time. What time is it?
I think it's time for
1:43:39. I'm watching the clock like he's old.
Time for
it's time for
the old school tip of the day.
Day.
All right. Well, I don't know how much of an old school tip this really is, but it is for all the guys that are still working that will be old timers one day, or maybe old timers right now. You guys really, really have to pass on the knowledge. The skills and knowledge we have are so perishable. And if you guys don't take these new kids under your wing, if you don't teach them the art of truck work, the art of engine work, whether it's dragging a line down through a smoky hallway to see the fire, we talked about throwing a 50-foot ladder on a hill at 3 o'clock in the morning, flames blowing out of Victorian, or doing some crazy rescue like off a bridge with a truck hanging over. It won't happen. So it's up to the guys that are working right now and gals who are working right now to take the knowledge we have that you learned from the old timers and continue to pass it on. So that's my tip of the day.
Excellent.
Amen.
I thoroughly enjoyed listening to your stories and your career.
Oh, you guys are awesome, man. It's so much fun, man.
Had a good
Can't
time,
wait
man.
for the boat ride.
What's that?
Oh, man.
Can't wait for the boat ride.
Well, you better get your ass there. I don't want to hear no excuses. Sarah Goose
You
gave
got
me
to
some
show him the
excuse.
picture. You got to show him the one picture of the. Look at
Philly
it.
Max.
So
Philly Mac died.
and he's going to be on the 29th of April, man. I'm definitely tuning in from that.
Yeah.
Lou, which other picture do you want me to share?
Oh, the duck pictures.
Oh,
Big duck.
I'm sorry.
Hurry up before. Wow, dude, that's a duck hunt, bro.
Look at that. So, hey, Lou, you got an open invitation, bro. Duck season, October through January, man.
Rabbit season.
Duck season.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. With
Hold
Pat's,
on.
that's the wonder dog.
Very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
What's the dog's name, Chief?
Patch. P-A-T-C.
Patch.
Wonder
Look at
dog.
Patch.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Looks like you did all right there.
Passion, man. That is my passion. I got 41 days in a duck blind this year. I'm a duck hunting fool. And Lou, I understand you're a killer, huh?
Yeah, I got hooked on the ducks maybe about, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. I go down to a friend of mine's a fireman down in, he lives in Mississippi, but we go out to Arkansas. I go out in January, February with him too. Same thing. It's just, Coops can't understand. I'm showing him videos of, us in the boat breaking ice, and, he's like, what the hell are you doing?
Like so much.
Were you hunting timbers?
What's that?
Were you hunting in the timbers?
Yeah, we had some timber hauls, and then we go out in the fields in the afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, you got an open invitation, brother. Come on out to California, kill some California ducks.
I'll
do it. We'll do it, baby.
You guys can go duck hunting. I'll hang out and do something else. How about that?
We'll have coffee and a duck blind, right?
All right, good. I'll hang out. Yeah. Watch this. You ready?
Oh, man.
Guys, we got one shout out tonight. Where is it?
Yes.
This is a buddy of a friend of mine who's a little under the weather. Wish him the best tonight. That would be Ned Jensen. He's a Long Island firefighter. I sent you another picture. Did you get it?
I do.
There it is. There he is. He's a Bethpage firefighter out there with the Patso brothers.
I got to tell you, I look at him and I see Quick here.
Oh, man, he does look like Quick.
I see a little Quick in him.
He looks like Johnny too.
Oh, Johnny too as well, yeah. So, Ned, we wish you the best, bro, from the salty, Getting Salty brothers to you. I don't know how the little guy is, but he's awful cute.
Yeah.
Future
He
fight.
looks like his mother.
Yeah. Nice stash.
Nice.
Jeez. Really enjoyed you, man. We'll be looking for you. It's either the first or the second week. I'll send you an invitation. It comes out in an Evite. It comes out in an Evite. So
I'm in. Count me in.
we asked Siragusa, but he pushed it out.
Oh man,
So maybe you can come. You can come with him this time. So
I'll
maybe
bring him out, man. I'll bring him out.
maybe he's a little scared to come. But his daughter lives in New York too, I think.
Well, my daughter too, man. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
it'll be a party.
Oh, that's a home run.
Well, you can come stay with me because Gon stays with me. I got room here. Don't worry about it. We'll put you up. I'm
Awesome.
used to having people in here. I like random Filipinos all the time living with me, so it doesn't matter, you know. I got 8 of them. Yeah, my wife's Filipino.
Ah,
So I got about 8 of them coming in May, so I'm used to having a lot of people. So you're more than welcome.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Well, who do we got on Monday, Roof?
Ooh, good
Monday,
question.
I think we still have open. I know we got a bunch of new guys that I just got. I don't know on the calendar. I looked, but
Oh, do me a favor, guys.
Oh, we're here Thursday though. We have Chris. How you pronounce his name?
Chris
Wah?
Waugh.
Chris Waz this Thursday, right?
Chris
Yeah,
Waugh
yeah.
is Thursday. He got on in the 70s. He was actually in the picture carrying out Father Judge. He was at the telephone company fire. He was at the 23rd Street collapse. He was at the First World Trade Center bombing. So this guy's got some great stories, great pictures. Do me a favor. We're having Vinny Dunn on the show. We're doing a Q&A with him. I got 3 questions. Do you guys not want to ask Vinny Dunn, Chief Dunn questions? One of the greatest iconic guys in the FDNY, and I got 3 goddamn questions from you guys. So send in questions to KoobsPodcast@gmail.com when Vinny Dunn's on in 2 or 3 weeks from now. That's where you're going to send it.
Send it.
All right. That's it. That's all I got. Chief, keep it up.
Great
keep
job.
pounding the iron. Keep killing ducks. Keep doing what you're doing.
God bless you guys. Keep up the good work, man. It's awesome, man. Appreciate it.
I can't wait to crack open a couple with you on a boat in August. We'll have a good time.
We'll do a couple for sure.
All right.
Cheers, boys.
All right.
Thank
you. Got anything rough? Got anything? Any shout outs? Hope you get your power
No.
back really soon.
I'm going to go work on the generator right now.
Get that
All
thing
right.
lit up. Do you have a wig?
Generac. It
Look
only
like you
costs
get
you
a-
about 14 grand. Generac. It goes on by itself. Come on. Don't
Oh,
be
there
afraid.
it is. The light makes it look like he's got a wig on with a little piece of hair sticking out.
I got feathers. I got a couple feathers.
All right, guns. We'll see you guys on Monday. Until then, stay low and go. Oh,
All right,
Thursday.
everybody. We'll see you at the
Thursday.
big one.
All right, we'll see you Thursday. Whatever.
Yeah, Thursday. All right, guys, saddle up. Sounds like
Yeah.
work. Have a good night, everyone.
See you guys.